Welcome back to Parenting Special, a parent's guide to raising special needs children. I'm your host, Tereka Chance, and today I'll be talking about self-care for parents of autistic children. Today's episode is all about a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. If you're in this journey and you're new to it, I hope this helps you. And if you're in years in it, I hope you're not alone and say, yes, girl, me too. See, caring for a special needs child with autism can be both demanding and rewarding. It's rewarding because you get to love that child and you get to do what you want to do as far as making sure that he's happy. And when he's happy, that makes you happy. The demanding part is their needs are so different from any other child's needs. Their needs are, at least for mine, my son's needs are, he wants it when he wants it. So it's very hard for me to sit there and say, no, you can't do it right now. I've also learned that you cannot tell my son no. You have to and use another word. It has to be something like, okay, well, we'll do that in a little bit, but let's finish what we're doing now. So for me, that's demanding and that's very exhausting. There are times that, I want to rest. I want to, just take a minute for myself. And it's really hard for me to do that because his demands and his needs or I want them now. I can't wait. So I had to learn to say, okay, there comes a point for years, I took him to school. I picked him up. I was at his beck and call. I was exhausted. I was drained. I was mentally, emotionally, and physically drained. There were moments I was like, how do I go on? Do I go on? What's next? There was a point where, and it came to the point where literally I think he was in the 6th grade. I would take him to school. I would take him to ABA. I would take him everywhere he needed to go. I would take him to physical therapy. I was taking him place after place after place. And I was at the point where I was at the red light and I literally fell asleep with 2 kids in a car. And I was like, this is way, way too much for me. So I pulled over and I just cried. I cried. I'm like, God, this is hard. What do I do from here? Even though my husband was there, he wasn't there because he was working. So I didn't have to work so I could take care of him, which was more draining than I think me getting out and having a job because I didn't have any friends. It was just me. It was me running ABA, me running to the therapist, me doing this, me getting black eyes, me just drained. So then he went to the 6th grade, as I was saying, and his teacher, Christina, said to me, that's enough. He's going to ride the bus. You're going to put him on that bus and he's going to be okay. We're going to make sure that he's okay. I see your face. I see how tired you are. I see how drained you are. You're going to put him on that bus. You're going to let somebody else give you a break. Then she said, okay, there's some things, there's respite. So if you don't know what respite is where like ACOG, which is some places that give you couple of days out of the month where you can drop them off and you can get some rest, or where they can come to your house and you can go run your errands without them, or you can just go say, okay, I'm going to go sleep by myself tonight. I'm going to sleep and I'm going to sleep well. Now, for the new parents who were like, you're going to leave your child? Yes, you have to leave them sometime. You have to be able to say, I can't take care of him if I can't take care of me. If I'm no good for him, if I'm no good for me. So you have to be like, okay, give me a moment. And there are times, even when I'm at home, I still have to be like, I need a moment. And he's 22, right? Well, he turns 22 tomorrow. So there are times I'm like, I need a moment, and I'll call my sister and I'll be like, can y'all take him for a few minutes for a day? Let me go do some errands. Let me get some sleep, And then there's things like ABA therapy, where it's applied behavioral analysis. They come in and they are really, really good with them. They sit there and they help you. Some of them will teach you how to control the anger or to block the hits or how to just cope with it. They're there to teach them, but they're also there to teach you as well. They're also there to help you, figure out what's good for you and how to, help you out in the whole situation. And another thing that I've learned is I can schedule breaks. If I'm there with him 24 hours a day, then there's a time that I can say, okay, Amore, let's take a nap or let's just watch some TV. Let me have a few minutes to myself because they are exhausted. And sometimes they can just go, 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 go. It's like a kid on chocolate and chocolate and chocolate. And mine is just like, duh, 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 duh. He's gone. And then there's, so I'm sitting up there going, okay, if he's this wired, why am I so tired? And it's like, I'm going behind him. I'm making sure that he's not destroying something or he's not, messing with something that he doesn't or, so it's downright tiring. But it's also a place that when he's again calm and he's smiling and he's happy, and I can sit there and say, wow, look at him. I love him. I love him when he's wild too. But I also understand that I need my time too. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for asking for help. That's what it's there for somebody to come and help you, for somebody to give you a break. Because even in the Bible, on the seventh day, Jesus rested. And we are definitely not Jesus. So we definitely have to take some kind of time to ourselves. For me, I don't drink. So my idea of a perfect resting is a hot tub with some tea. And I sit there and I watch my iPad or I watch TV and I sit there quietly with no one bothering me. So there's plenty of ways you go. If you don't have this time, go in the closet. Give yourself a few minutes. Take a break. Give yourself some woosah moments because you have to have those because they're different. I mean, though the autism kids are different. They can go to sleep for 10 minutes and be up and wired and ready to go. Or, they can sleep for an hour or they may not even take a nap. So you do have to have some time for yourself. So don't feel bad. Please don't. I did in the beginning. Trust me, I did. I cried when that bus came for him. I was like, oh my goodness. Nobody's gonna, take care of him on the bus as well as I did. But I understood that was for my good as well as his because it made him more independent. Now the bus comes, he jumps on that bus, he'll be like, adios, mommy. And he's gone. So, which makes it easier for me so I can do the things that I need to do laundry, cooking, or whatever I need to do. And when the respite takes him, I can run my errands, or I can sleep, or I can just go get my hair done, do my nails, do a spa day, just something that just makes me happy. And I don't have to worry if he's running around or if he's breaking something or, if he's tearing up something or anything, I can just relax because I know they're going to take care of him. And with the ABA, when they come, they spend time with him. They teach him, they teach you how to control the habits, how to control his behavior, how to control him fighting. And they're supposed to help you. But in the midst of all that, they still watch him so that you can still get some rest. So there are those moments too. And by all means, don't feel bad for asking for help because you're going to need that. It's draining. It's draining to your bones. When I tell you it's draining, there was times that I would just sit in the house and rock back and forth because I didn't know what to do. It was me. And I felt like if I send him to my sister's house, if he broke something or if he destroyed something, where do we go from there? Then I understood it's material. I can replace whatever he breaks, but my mental capacity, you can't replace. And if I'm tired, that makes me cranky. That makes me angry. That makes me to the point that I don't know where I'm going or what I'm supposed to do. How can I take care of him, let alone his sister, if I can't take some time to take care of me? And there's also other things you can do, like you can join a support group. Look them up. There's some on Facebook. There's some on YouTube. You can look in different places. I mean, there's always, it depends on where you stay. There's always somebody somewhere that needs the same help that you need. Just take the time to find out where it is or who it is. I mean, research it, look for it, ask questions. You don't ask questions, you'll never get an answer. A closed mouth will never get fed. You have to know that, okay, enough is enough. Let me get somebody in here to help me. Let me help myself by taking a moment, even if it's 20 minutes. Sometimes that's all you need is a 20-minute break to get away from 'em, just to, doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that you love yourself as well. And that means I need to give myself a break to love me. So, I mean, sometimes they understand and sometimes they don't. There are days that Amari is fine with me leaving, and then there's days that he's not fine with me leaving. On those days that he's not fine, I don't go. And that's hard because I'm drained and I'm tired, but I know that if I leave, whoever's there with him, he's gonna give them some trouble. But then there's times when you can just be like, okay, Marty, mommy's gonna be back. And then he'll say, okay, see you tomorrow. Be back today, but he's be like, see you tomorrow. And that's fine because I know at that moment, okay, that I'm good. And don't think, oh, because I'm giving myself a break, I'm not doing enough for him. We do way more than enough for them. At least I know I do. I wake up Amari. I sleep Amari. So for me, I don't feel guilty about it. I need that time. I need that space. I need it. So please don't feel guilty. Just go with your feelings of, I need some time to myself. And then there are other parents and there's other people out there who have special needs kids. Reach out. Reach out to groups. Reach out to clubs. I'm in this club where we meet once a month and they talk about what they're going through, what their needs are, or just, was it today or yesterday? Just yesterday, I had one of my friends who is a special needs parent send me a whole list of fundings, a whole list of things that can help. This is in San Antonio. There's a whole list of things where you can get grants, where you can get somebody to help you. Things that you don't know. There's ABC. There's Any Child Can. These are places that will help you, and they're glad to help you. And as on my podcast, there's no judgment. They don't judge you when you go to those places because they want what's best for you as well as what's best for your child. So just think about it. Think about it as your child is tired of you and you're giving your child a break. And then that process, while he's taking his break from you, you take your break for him and you go do the things that you need to do. Even if it, like I say, even if it's just going in your closet and closing the door and just thinking about, okay, oh, I got this moment to myself. Let me just breathe. Let me just relax. It's okay to do that. Because if he was normal, what would you be doing at this moment? Telling him, go on about your way. Go do what you got to do. Even though they're not what we consider normal, they know enough to know that they need some time away from you and you need some time away from them. So just be patient with yourself. Give yourself some leniency. Give yourself a leeway to say, I'm okay with this. I'm okay by leaving him. I mean, you know that you're not leaving him to hurt him. You're not leaving him with somebody that's going to beat him. You're leaving him with someone you can trust. Now, for me, the first couple of times I left him, of course, I have alarms and I have cameras. So I was watching, I was watching everything. So really, I didn't rest. I watched to make sure that they didn't do anything to him or to make sure that he was okay or make sure let alone them doing anything to him doing anything to them. Because most of the time, I don't worry about somebody mistreating him. I worry about what he's going to do to them. But Amari's that kid that if you get to know him, you will love him. Either you will love him or you will just love him. I mean, he smiles and you know that he loves you. And I'm sure your kids do the same thing. I'm sure that you get the broken TVs. I can tell you about the broken TVs. And it's okay to be upset about it because that's money. And sometimes you don't have the money to replace it. I mean, especially if it's one TV, yeah, I get it. But when it's 8 and 12 and 9 and 10, it's draining emotionally, physically, and especially out of your pocket because you're sitting up there going, where am I going to get this money from? What am I going to do? So, for me, when he breaks the TV, if it's in the living room, there's no TV in the living room. So if you want to go in the living room, go ahead, buddy, because you don't have a TV. So if you break your TV in your room, you don't have a TV. Those are just simple things, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cruel to him. No, it's not. He knows what he's doing. My son does, because he will tell you, I'm going to break the TV. I'll be like, okay, go ahead. Because if you break the TV, guess what? You don't have a TV. I have a TV. Because I can go in my room and I can close my door any day of the week and I'm going to still have my TV. You just don't have one. You just have to sit in your room and do nothing all day long. So you don't feel bad. Because I don't feel bad. I need that time away. And then you make sure that you do something that you want to do. Spend some time with your friends. The ones that don't understand. The ones that don't have special need kids. Spend some time with them and maybe try to explain it to them. And they may want to help you. They may want to be like, okay, let me spend a couple of hours with him so you can get a break. Let me see. And then they'll understand why you're so tired. They'll understand that, oh, I got a good kid. Not that my kid's bad, but he's just different. He's different from your kid. So they'll be able to see how draining it is. They'll be able to see how hard it is on some days. And they'll be able to see, I understand what she's going through. I understand why she needs that break. There's parents who have 3 and 4 kids and they have breaks. But even with 3 or 4 kids, one special need kid is more than that altogether because they will run you and run you. And there are days that when we first found out about Amora, he would put something somewhere. And if you did not find it, we'd be scrambling the house. We'd be, Lord, where's it at? Where's this? Because he knows where he put it. And if he drops something or he just, it's just amazing. It's mind boggling to say he can put a Lego in a corner and 3 days later come back and expect that Lego to be there. And if that Lego is not there, we have a problem. So it's little things like that. It's little things like that that make you say, okay, I need that time because you're running around and you're like, oh Lord, let me find this because if I don't find this, what's going to happen? Is he going to get mad? He's going to break the TV. He's going to come after you, or, just what? You don't know what the day holds. You don't know what to expect. You just don't. But when you leave and you give them some time to their self and you get some time to yourself, do something that you want to do. It's not always, oh, well, let me go run, pay bills. Let me go run and do the things that I want to do. No, you give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to think. Give yourself time to plan, to strategize, to figure out what's next. To figure out where do we go from here. And, if you need help, there's nothing wrong with saying you need help because I needed help. And if my sister wasn't there, if my sisters weren't there to help me, Lord, I wouldn't have made it because I didn't know in the beginning. I didn't know that there was ACOG. I didn't know that there was any baby can. I didn't know that those benefits were out there and it's not that I couldn't find out. I just didn't want to know. Honestly, I wanted to think my child was going to get better. My child was not going to keep autism. Well, that's not the case. Right now, he does have it. If God's willing later on he doesn't have it, which I'm praying for, then I still have means and still have sources for other people. So it's one of those simple things as research, look around, ask people. You're on my podcast. No judgment here. If you need help, write, text, whatever you need. If I don't have the answer, I can guarantee I can find somebody that does have the answer. So go out, look around in your city. If you take your kid out and your kid has a meltdown, don't worry about it. I used to take Amari out and there was 3 stages. I would apologize. I'd be like, oh, he has autism. I'm so sorry. And then people would look at me and then I'd get mad at them for looking at me. And I'd be like, what are you looking at? Stop staring at him. He has autism. So then I would get mad at them. And then I'd be like, you know what? I don't have to justify myself. He's not bad. He has autism. So there's a difference between being bad and running around the store and crawling around the store like some kids do, and a kid that has autism. So I take him to the store. If he has a meltdown, okay, then let's leave the store. You're just not gonna get what you came in the store for. Because I'm not gonna sit here and let you embarrass me. But I'm not gonna apologize for him. Why? Because there are things that he's doing that he doesn't understand. So there are kids in the store that are just throwing a temper tantrum because they can. So are your parents apologizing? Are you apologizing that your child is rolling all over the floor and crying? No, you're not. So why should I? And my kid has a reason to do it. Yours don't. Yours is doing it just because they feel like they can get away with it. Mine does it too sometimes because he feels like he can get away with it. 9 out of 10 times he does get away with it. But he's not going to get away with me walking around and buying him anything either. You can act up in the store if you want to and be like, okay, let me know when you're finished. I'm going to the car. And that's one of the things that I've learned. If he's going to act up and we're out in the store, I'll just walk away. He knows to follow me. And he'll come back, he'll be running, well, wait, wait. I'd be like, you were just crawling on the floor. Now you want me to wait for you? No, let's go. We'll come back another day when you know how to act. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm not going to sit here and, feel sorry for me or have somebody saying, oh, that I did have a lady that says, oh, that child is just bad. And I was like, oh, that child just has autism. And she just looked at me. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know him. You don't know me. So you don't have a right to judge me. You don't have a right to say anything. I will speak up for him. Now, if he's doing something that he doesn't have to be, and that he's not supposed to do, okay, say something to him. But if he genuinely doesn't know what he's doing, no, don't come at my child like that because I'm not going to let you. I'm going to stand up for him. So that's my view on that. I will stand up for him anytime, even when he's right or even when he's wrong. I'm still going to stand up for him because if I'm not his voice, who's going to be his voice? But I'm not going to let him do stuff and I know that it's wrong. Of course, I'm going to stop him. I mean, there are things that he does intentionally and there are things that he doesn't do intentionally. There are times that, he's just great. We can walk in the store and we got a corner store that we go to almost every day. He walks into the store and the people know him and, he can walk in there and they'll get what he wants. And, he talks to him. He's like, hi. And they'd be like, how are you doing? I'm doing, because he doesn't understand. But then there's some days he goes, I'm fine, and he'll walk out the store. So please believe that there are times that they do know what they're doing. And there are times that they don't know what they're doing. But if my son tells you I'm going to break the wall or I'm going to break a TV, he knows what he's doing. So there's got to be consequences. So on those moments when you've done all of that and you've sat there and you've ran your mind through it back and forth and you've had so much going on, you need that moment. You need a moment to say, the night is over, let me rest or let me, just get out of the house. For me, a bath or sitting on the back porch and watching the deers run around and drinking a cup of coffee is fine, but I need that moment where I don't have to worry about him running up to the door, bamming on the door, trying to get in. So please, please give yourself some grace, meaning give yourself a chance to rest. Call on ABA therapy. Call on what you need. I mean, call people, call somebody. There's got to be somebody in your family. There's got to be somewhere that somebody will help you. And if it's not, go look up Any Baby Can, go look up ACOG, go look up CDS. There are places that will help you because they helped me and they gave me a relief because I felt like I was drowning. I felt like somebody was holding my breath and I was begging them to let me go just so I can breathe. But now I can walk out the door and I can be like, okay, he's going to be okay. I don't have to check the camera 24 times a day. I don't have to do that. I can just go and do what I have to do and I can relax. Now I can leave him with Edwin. I used to call him 24 hours. Is he okay? Where he at? What's he doing? I don't see him, Now I don't do that because That's what drive me. And that's not a rest. That's me sitting there and worrying even more. I mean, that I think that's me worrying more than me being there. Because if I'm there, I worry about him, but I don't have to worry about him as much. But me calling and wondering and making sure that, oh, you've taken care of him and you're taking care of him, that's just kid too. If you have a husband or a baby's daddy or whichever one, let them have some responsibility as well. You don't have to pull the whole load. The load is heavy and it's draining. So I'm not saying pass them off, but I mean, share it, share the load. There was a time I told everyone, I just can't. I can't do this by myself. I cannot. I can't have you working every day and every minute, and I'm here, feeling like I'm locked. I felt like a prisoner because there was times that I would sit in a corner and I'd be like, literally, y'all, and we said that we were gonna have tell the truth, the raw, and nothing but the truth. There's times I would sit in my corner and I'd be like, I'm afraid to move. Where do I go? If I move, maybe he's going to get mad. Maybe he's going to hit me. And I don't feel that way now. I'm not, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to build my life on being afraid. God said he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So I've learned, there are things that you can do. Protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. You do. Because there are times they're strong. I will never tell you that they're not. They are the strongest. When he's mad, he turns into the Green Hulk or something. Because his strength is like, boom. I've saw this kid literally jump a fence like Spider-Man. And I was like, literally, I was like, everyone was like, he jumped the fence. I was like, no, he jumped the fence. So they're strong and their willpower to get where they want to go is even stronger. So your willpower should be even stronger to rest so that you can go and deal with another day and make it through. So that is pretty much all I have for y'all today. This is Tereka signing off. Remember, like and subscribe. Have a good day.